Right, my name's Matt Brennan from Grange Fitness and Suffolk Boot Camps, and today I'm privileged to be interviewing Kevin Mclernon from the winner, should I say, of The Biggest Loser 2012. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Matt.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm awesome. How
Good.
are you?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you, mate. Pretty
Great.
Good. I don't want to divulge too much on the past because you're moving forward now, but there may be people listening to this interview who are right now in the same place as where you once were. Take me back to maybe not your childhood, but as you're growing up, what were your eating habits like then, and exercise? Were you active or were you not active?
As a child at school, I was pretty average. I suppose I was probably what you would describe as being chunky, or I had a bit of puppy fat, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I played rugby, I played hockey in my senior school, and I did a bit of boxing. So I wasn't hugely overweight or anything like that. Eating habits wise, I can't really remember, but I think it was just pretty normal. I remember we'd get like a proper dinner in the evening, like a meal together on a night time. And up until probably all grown up would have like a Sunday dinner together. Up until we're sort of like I've got 3 older brothers, so up until probably I was in my teenage years, we used to have a Sunday dinner together, and then obviously just all dispersed, and everyone was doing their own thing on a Sunday, so it didn't. So it was just pretty normal, pretty average, like I said before.
Yeah, good. So where for you did it go wrong? When did you start realising you were putting on weight, or was there anything that sort of set it all off for you?
Like I say, I've always had this puppy fat thing, and or that I can remember. And in my teenage years and in my early 20s, I was at best slightly overweight. Looking at photos of us back then, I would say I just looked like a pretty normal sized sort of young man that you would see now. I certainly wasn't ripped, but I certainly wasn't huge either. It was in my early 20s I first put a lot of weight on. I got up to like the early 20 stones. I was involved in my first serious relationship then. I don't know whether that had anything to do with it, very probably. Then when that relationship ended, I lost a lot of weight. But I lost a lot of weight for a holiday. I'd just split up with my girlfriend, booked a holiday to Ibiza with the lads, and lost a lot of weight. Went down from about 21, 22 stone-ish, thereabouts, down to about 15 stone. And at 15 stone, I looked lean. I didn't look. I say lean. I didn't. I certainly didn't have a 6-pack, but I was probably about 10 pounds away from starting to get one.
Yeah.
I looked well, but it was a case of when I went on the holiday, it was sort of straight away bounce back. I didn't adjust my lifestyle after the holiday, which is what people need to do. So I just started to put weight back on, and that came back on over a period of a year or so. And then I kept that weight for a few years, maybe 2 years. And then I lost it again, just before I met my partner Joanne. That time I got my weight right down. That was in 2001. I met Joanne in 2002. And then I started putting weight back on probably about 6 months-ish in our relationship. I started to really sort of like put weight back on. Like my shirts were feeling a bit tighter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it just came on. And then from probably 2006 onwards, it really piled on when I had a business. I had a business that I just devoted my life to, 100%, 24 hours a day. It was an emergency plumbing and drainage business, so it was literally a 24-hour business. And the weight just like flew on then, and I did lighter life and lost about 6 stone in lighter life, and promptly put 12 stone on. And it was just down to total neglect of myself. Which, thinking about it now, when I'm talking to people now and they're sort of like in the same boat as I was in, I'm thinking, that's just madness, and that's what you could probably say it was a form of insanity or whatever. But I was just totally focused on something else and just totally let myself go in a big way. And as it got heavier and heavier, and as I got more and more uncomfortable with myself, both physically and mentally and emotionally and everything, it just got harder and harder to lose weight. And when I wasn't losing weight, I was putting weight on, and I was really stuck in a really horrible, vicious circle.
Yeah, it's easily done. Obviously, when we speak to our clients, it's exactly they say the same sort of thing. So when that was happening, did you feel yourself? Did you know that you were putting on weight? Did you know that you were eating the wrong stuff, and you just couldn't stop? You just couldn't stop. It was just
yeah. It's easy. People I'll go on holiday and put maybe half a stone on or a few pounds on or whatever. I'll go at Christmas and bank holiday weekends. People have had barbecues and parties and whatever else, and that's great. And they might put a couple of pounds on, but that soon comes off. For me to put the amount of weight on I did, I had to massively take my eye off the ball. But I was also very well aware of what was going on. Every time I wanted to buy clothes, it went from buying clothes in shops, like Burton's and wherever else. Oh yes, I'm a fashion icon.
Yeah.
To having to buy them online,
Yeah.
and then go to special shops, and then that started to get really uncomfortable. I was a 6XL, and the biggest one that you could get was an 8XL. And when I was a 2XL, I was like, I would never get up to a 3XL, and there I was at a 6XL. And there's various different photos online of us. I can email you one where I'm holding up my giant jeans that I used to wear, and they're a size 60-inch waist. And
Wow.
I was obviously well aware that I was putting weight on, and that my clothes sizes were getting bigger. And it was always a case of, Monday I'll start my diet, and I'll maybe go to the gym. And
Yeah, there's always another day. It's always the next day.
And then Monday would come, and for whatever reason, insert excuse there. I would put it off till Tuesday. Then Tuesday would come, insert another excuse. Wednesday would come, and I'll just start again on Monday. It's the end of the weekend, and I've got this coming up or that coming up. I might as well just wait till I've done that. Like maybe a weekend away or whatever. So I'll just wait till I've done that, and before I knew it, I was 32 stone. But it's crazy to think that I just suddenly woke up one day and went, what went wrong there? What happened there?
Yeah.
I knew what was going on, but it was almost like I had no control over it.
Yeah. So at your largest 32 stone, was it? Is that right?
I ended up the Biggest Loser house at 32 stone 2 pound, but I had actually been a little bit heavier than that earlier in that year.
Okay. So what prompted you to? So you got to that weight. Obviously, the show came about. Was the show the thing that made you click? I need to do something about it, or what triggered it off for you?
Well, like I said before, I knew that I had to lose weight, and this was something that was constantly on my mind. And the business that had held me distraction for so long was gone. I got out of that business and just concentrated on what I was doing, the same as what I'm doing now for a living. But I really struggled after the business went, and that was a bit of a nightmare for quite a while. And then I was just constantly thinking, I've got to lose weight. This can't be the way I've got to live. This is like so limiting for me and for Joanne. It's such a big worry for my mum and dad. And I was looking for solutions, and I had the opportunity to go to London. It was last July. Was it July the 4th weekend? So that'll give you an idea when it was.
Yeah.
It was a business event, and it was all about sort of like building a business, making a business, which is what got us into the position I was in the first place. But I knew Tony Robbins was going to be speaking. Now, Tony Robbins, you probably know who he is, but for anybody who's listening who doesn't know who he is, he's a huge motivational speaker, world famous. He works with presidents and Oprah Winfrey and the Dalai Lama and loads of huge people dedicate their sort of like success to methods that he's taught them, sort of thing. So anyway, I thought, right, Tony Robbins has got my answer. I'm going to go there, and Tony Robbins is going to speak to me and tell me what my solution is. Which, a lot of overweight people do that. They look for somebody else to give them the answer. When really, I now know the answer is, move more and eat less, or eat less rubbish. Eat better and move more is really what every solution. Every sort of like physical solution, not mindset solution, every physical solution to losing weight, bottom line comes down to eating properly and exercising.
Yeah, no,
there is no other way. All these like crazy diets and crazy machines and things like that, they just aren't the answer. The answer is to eat right, to exercise, and you can lose a lot of weight doing that. You don't have to lose a pound or two a week. You can lose a lot of weight doing that. I knew that already, but I was looking for Tony Robbins to give me this like magic solution and this magic sort of mindset shift.
Yeah,
this is what he works on. He wasn't going to stand there and tell us to eat sweet potatoes and broccoli. He was going to give us a mindset shift. So he was he was awesome, outstanding. I really like his work, and there we were. And one of the things I did was he was talking about commitment and things like that, and he said, turn to the person to your left and make a commitment to that person what you're going to do to change your life in the next 90 days. Now, bearing in mind this was like more business focused as well, it could have been more of a business thing. I could have turned to the left and said, in the next 90 days I'm going to find a way to make £10,000 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
As it happens, the person to my left was Joanne, my partner. I could have easily been sat next to a stranger and Joanne could have been sat to me right, but I said turn to your left, and I turned to my left and it was Joanne. And the first thing that came into my head and the first thing I wanted to say was, in the next 90 days I'm going to lose £90.
Wow. Yeah.
I'd made that commitment. I'd never actually looked her in the eye and said, specific numbers before and been like, committed to that sort of figure before. But it wasn't so much what I said, because what I said, I could have just, I'd said that before, I want to lose weight, and it was the way I said it. I committed to say that in the next 90 days I will lose £90. And then it was Joanne's answer to that, which was, I know you'll do it, and I believe you can do it, and she was holding my hand. And it was really, in a room with 8,500 people, it was still quite an intimate moment.
Yeah.
It was a huge event, and there we were just saying, I know you can do it, I know you'll do it. And it went on from there.